It's almost one of the, you love it or you hate it. My name's Michelle. The job was to work directly with clients to help them with their life skills. I've worked in 2 group homes as one called it a support specialist, the other company called it a life skills coach. But managing in life skills could include everything from managing their medication, managing their hygiene, the way they interact with people in the community, playing a game of checkers with you, watching the news. It could be anything. Clients, we call them clients or residents, that have one or more diagnoses from a healthcare provider. So some people could have dissociative personality disorder and also with schizophrenia. People that usually are designated to live in these residential facilities, these group homes, have one or more of these diagnoses. Average age of the people that lived in the group homes range from mid-20s to, I think the oldest was 71. So essentially it is a home with multiple rooms for residents to either have a single room or they share a room with one roommate, and there are community bathrooms, one for the men, one for women. The staff of the organization have an office space in the home, and that is where their computers are. That's usually where the medication is stored and locked. And the office is also where we keep any chemicals or anything that could be harmful to the residents. Extra supplies, where we have our shift change meetings or staff meetings. Group homes are set up to be 24-hour care, meaning you have one or more caregivers that are in the facility at a time, and they have first shift, which is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Second shift is 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. and third shift is 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. The company is very strict about personal information and keeping that as confidential as possible. They take that very seriously. So nobody's information is just kind of tossed around. There's secure places to put because that's all somebody's personal information. So they're like, we get medications for someone, the extra sheets with any name, biographical information about somebody, all that stuff gets shredded. People may go there and think, okay, I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna play checkers with people. I'm gonna help them do their laundry, and we'll put a frozen lasagna in the oven and we'll play checkers while we wait on that, and that's lunch. And the residents that are in these homes, they're people. They have families, they have lives, they all have very different and unique stories about how they came to be there or just how they transitioned there. Some people are there because they're court ordered, some people aren't. Oftentimes, people that are in group homes are there because they pose a challenge and or threat to themselves or their family or just the general public. And that's why working with life skills coaches or support specialists, why that support staff is so important is because you are working with someone on a constant basis for the things that they would normally do. So you're trying to make it so that when they go out into the community, they make good choices. The first group home that I worked in, I was there for a year, and it was interesting. It was interest in getting to know people because you're a stranger coming into their home, and that's strange for any dynamic. Any new person coming into my home, I would definitely be looking them over and okay, what are you doing, and why are you standing over there by my stuff? I would definitely have some reservations about it, and the clients do, and it may be something that you see that you have in common with them, and that's how you break the ice. So the first group home that I worked in, it took me maybe a month to even get the first resident to even really sit down and talk with me and do anything. When you're in this role, you are trained to dispense medication, and a lot of times they take meds 3 times a day. Some of these are antipsychotics, and both places where I've worked, they encourage you to learn more about the medication so that you can talk with the client so that they understand why they're taking this medication. And so, you and the client you're learning how and why this cocktail of medication is worked for them, and it's almost one of those things, either you love it or you hate it, because residents can get frustrated about things and they can take that out on you, or maybe you say something to them, you decline their request to go somewhere or be given some food or drink, or it could be anything. It could be anything that could set them off. I have felt my safety was in jeopardy more than once. I'm human, and there are times that I've wanted to defend myself and maybe react or give back what I was given. I've been hit by a resident, once accidentally and once on purpose. The toll that it can take on you working on residents or clients with a mental health diagnosis can be challenging. Don't go into it thinking you're going to make a lot of money, because you won't. Don't go into it because you feel like I'm going to help someone and it's going to be great and they're going to love me and I'm just personable and everybody loves me, and it could be anything. They could be having a good day, bad day. You could just be wearing the wrong color shirt. It could be anything that could set somebody off and make you feel like any progress you made with them was nothing. But then there's the upside. You are going to laugh about some stuff. You're going to laugh with things about people. You're going to learn things about yourself. You can talk about your own life if you choose. You can keep it very vague. Your personal life and whatnot is not part of, what you have to share working on your job, but you could share things that might help the resident open up with you. One gentleman one thing that was a great icebreaker was the comic section in the Sunday paper. I came to work one Monday and I had the Sunday paper and I had the comics, and I thought, I'm going to read about Marmaduke and I'm going to read Family Circus and Garfield. And so I was reading that and I kind of chuckled, and one of the residents asked me a question about it, and I said, well, hey, why don't you take this part of it, I'll take this part, and then we'll switch and we'll talk about which ones we like the best. And he became my checker buddy, and we talked about a lot of different things, and I learned a lot about him. I learned a lot about different things that triggered him. Medical needs, and once you learn these things, you will come to endear the residents that live in these houses. You will find them witty, you will find them questionable, you will love them, you will not like them. It will be a lot of different feelings, and through it all, it is still a job. And you still have to, all the interactions that you have with clients, you write those up, you keep time, you keep your time. So if I start working with a resident at 9:01 a.m. and we talked about reading the comics section in the newspaper, we shared which comics we thought were funny, and that ended at 9:17. So that's 16 minutes with that resident talking about this. What life skill did that work on? That works on social skills. So it's a whole thing. People that you work with, there are people from a lot of different backgrounds that do a lot of different things. There are people that I've worked with that are, there's a stay-at-home mom, and she worked third shift, so I would see her when I worked second shift, because we would have our staff meetings or our shift meetings, which is the half hour between the two shifts. And she said it was perfect because her kids were asleep, and she's like, I never get any sleep anyway, so I might as well be here. And I can, she's like, there are people here that are night owls, so I'm up talking to them till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then after that I kind of coast till 11 in the morning. And so some people, it's different things. There are ladies that work there that they retired from one job, maybe it was as a case manager or social worker, or working in federal capacity with public assistance, something like that, and then they do this just to see the other side of the community. There are people that do double shifts. So I mentioned there are 8-hour shifts. There are people that do 2 shifts in a row. That's a lot. Typically women are who I work with, and this is just me. I've primarily worked with African American females over the age of 35. A few that have been college graduates, but they're more so, they take those jobs more so as experience, but just the flexibility, and it's something that they can do while they're doing classwork and getting their clinical hours in or something like that. Managers, I've had one female manager of the group home, and there have been 2 male group home managers. Black males over the age of 40, and they either previously worked in a group home, or they've been in case management or some aspect of the mental health field, and they transitioned to management of group homes. So 8 years ago, my pay was $13.70 an hour part-time, but I would pick up other shifts. When you work more than 40 hours, you can get time and a half. So holiday pay, you do get that time and a half. One company, they even had contractual people, so they don't guarantee you hours, but they paid them like $16.50 an hour. So I was like, hello, why you do that? In 2021, the entry-level pay was $11.98 an hour. Now I know you say, why would you do that? I wanted to get to know this organization and So I tried it out, and it was a little more than what I needed or wanted it to be at the time. So it wasn't the best fit for me at this point. Just wasn't good timing for me at this point. And I was doing that in conjunction with the other things that I do, the videos I make for YouTube and my website at tailoredlifecoaching.com. People that can teach you about what is really important in life can come from anywhere. Mental health care is important. In the following video, I love this young man's take on mental health.
I just came from the park, and it's this kid teasing me because I have feelers on. Now, mind you, I am not a material person. I just wear feelers because, you know, I like the color, and I think they're cool. They might not be what's popular today, but, you know, that's what I like. So, you know, I told the kid, it's not about what I have on my feet, it's about what I have inside my head. No matter what I'm wearing, no matter what I have on, it's about my information, the knowledgeable things in life. These sneakers are not even going to fit you in 20 years from now. So it's about what you have in your mind, your wisdom, your knowledge, the power to inspire others. And parents, please don't raise your children like the materialistic type, because, you know, once they don't have Jordans on or cool clothes, they're going to feel like they're not important. They're going to feel like they need the golden or the Jordans or the cool stuff, the popular stuff, to make them feel important.